This isn't sitting on me weird, is it?
No. It's lovely.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hi, I'm Jack Rowe. I'm still here, still observing, and still slightly suspicious of everything.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rowe. I'm controlled, calculated, and different. And
Honey. This is Rolling with the Rose.
And Jack looks like a referee.
Oh, you bitch. And you look like Britney Spears.
You love her.
I know, it's not that's really
That's
a compliment.
a compliment.
It's the finest compliment. I think you look fabulous.
You're trying to be Sporty Spice today.
I am sporty spice today. Well, I actually brought a different polo shirt. You can see it thrown over there.
Yeah.
When me and Sarah come into this studio, it's like there's shite everywhere. Like, honestly, we come in, hi guys, and they throw our bags down, our coats down, my t-shirt's over there. I had a polo shirt on, but I used to wear it to work all the time.
So then is it one of those things that you have clothes ick from it? You know, when you have things in your wardrobe for too long, you look at it and you're like, I hate it.
I honestly don't have clothes ick. I just don't want people to tune in and be like, oh, so like he can't afford new clothes. You know? So I had to hit up H&M real quick on my way here today. But what about this weather, right?
It is up and down, Jack. As in, I feel like one day it's 25 degrees, the next day it's 2 degrees. I don't know what clothes to wear.
Oh my God, it's a pain in the hole. So obviously I start the day by burping the house. As we know. Every day got to burp the house. Which when I first actually said it to Sarah, she was like, what, did you do a big burp, did ya? No. But I was burping the house, and as I said, my house just gets so warm. It's like a glass house. And yesterday I got dressed or whatever, and I wore shorts and a jumper. Yeah. And then I headed off. Went to meet my friend Amy Wiley.
She's only a new friend of yours as well. First time meeting Amy.
No. I've met her a few times before.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was our first like proper day hanging out. We had a ball.
I love how that's a thing in New York though as well. You can just reach out to random people and everyone's kind of up for connecting like that, I feel.
Yeah, totally. Like we went for coffee and then we went and had 3 drinks.
Love it.
Then we were in Soho. We went to the Spring Lounge, which is like my kind of vibe. You would hate it. It's real grungy.
Oh, it's one of those places where you get shots of vodka kind of place.
Yeah, like have a beer.
Yeah.
And like there's like an old man beside you and like
you can't
he's
get a
talking
skinny
to himself.
marg.
They'd say there's nothing skinny in this place. That's what they'd say. Then we went to Rin Tin Tin, which you would like. There you can get a skinny margarita. Yeah. And we should actually go there before you go.
Well, we actually, Jack, the biggest thing I want to say over the last few days is we've obviously only released episode 1 and 2, and we've got an overwhelming response from everyone, and just so many kind messages, so many kind words, and would love to just thank everyone for sending us so much goodness really coming through. Yeah,
thank you so much. Honestly, the support has been overwhelmingly positive. Just, you know, people from school, people from jobs, like people from different places I've lived, reaching out to give us their well wishes, people giving us words of advice and stuff. Zoe actually just sent me a funny voice note. I meant to say this to you, our cousin Zoe. So she listened to the episode and she loved it, and she said she's really excited for more. And she likes how we are reaching out to the audience and asking them for stories and stuff like that. She goes, and like, you wouldn't think it, like, because the two of you are such shite talkers, but you actually give good advice.
Yeah, full of wisdom, Jack.
Yeah.
If you dig deep enough into any person, you'll find something in there, you know, a bit of substance.
I don't know about that.
You know, and the Rose have a bit of substance, in all fairness. We do. It's a bit of depth there. Behind all the facade and all the jokes, there is a bit of substance.
Yeah, no, there is. And I think that it's clear here. And people have been enjoying the show.
But that's really what we actually wanted as well, Jack. Like, we wanted it to come across. And like, the structure of the show is like, we talk about your life, my life, and how we come from very different worlds, and then our life as a family. And we want people to, I suppose, understand that while there's so much jokes and laughs within our family, there is that serious side to us as well. So I feel like it's good to know that we're getting that across.
Yeah, definitely. So keep them coming, keep the feedback coming. Any feedback is appreciated. So thank you very much for that. It's funny how before every episode, I know I literally shout out Blue Bottle Coffee every episode. I'm honestly terrified they're gonna fucking start watching these videos. Oh my god, I just told someone in there to watch it.
Yeah, but then also, Jack, you're putting the cup in there, so it's almost like we're sponsored by them. We're not.
No, and Sarah, I'm saying that they can go and fuck off because they're giving me cups. They're giving me coffee in these paper cups. I just
got going back.
Well, it's our office.
Yeah, I know it is.
So me and Sarah meet in Blue Bottle Coffee across the street every day before the podcast. And like today I went in there and I said, well, I wonder if Sarah at work. Like,
honestly, at this point we need to be paying rent. Yeah. But all we do is bitch about the cafe.
No, literally went in, like hover around, was like, where's Sarah? There was a who can walk slowest competition in there today because I was stuck behind multiple people. I was like Lita, let's go. And went down to get changed from my polo shirt into my referee's top because I have a match to referee later. But where I also look like I play for Collingwood.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm women's Collingwood, by the way. And so I went down, got changed, and the guy was like, oh, is it warm outside? And I was like, no, it's not. But funny you say that. I'm about to talk about that on a podcast. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's called Rolling with the Rows. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I just wish you guys had plastic cups. But yeah, look, I know we bitch about them all the time, but it's a nice way to start this day and our discussions about the podcast.
I know, because we always start the day by wanting to know what people do for their morning routines. We love it. So we
also like to go in there and just get our heads in the game, don't we?
100%.
Because we go over what we're going to speak about. And it's important because, you know, we want to like rein ourselves in. It's like, you know, wrap it up, land the plane.
Yeah, 100%, Jack, because both of us need to be on the same page. Even though we are on very different spectrums, really, we need to come together.
We got to be in the same pages, but we in different books, honey.
But so we start off by debriefing our morning. So, Jack, tell me about your morning and tell me about your breakfast.
Okay, so maybe this breakfast
keep
be
it snappy,
controversial. I'll keep it snappy, girl. I'll keep it snappy. I woke up this morning and did fasted training.
Oh, yeah.
Did a CrossFit class. It was tough. And then left there, stopped in a bodega near my house and got so they sell eggs in the bodega, but like hard-boiled eggs. In shops, like in corner stores, bodegas.
Kind of smelly, no?
Kind of smell, yeah. But I love the guy in there. He works there, and he was like, "What's your name? What's your name, bro?" Kind of love.
Okay, yeah.
But he was like, "What's your name, bro?" And like I was like, "Jackie." He goes, "Oh, that's easy to remember. My lady friend is Jackie." I was like, "Whatever." But I got 2 hard-boiled eggs from him. Ate those. Which is kind of stink, but I just think that it's like also proteinaceous. But I just think that, like, you know, if you're out and about, you should get this.
Yeah.
Mince meat over there. Like, if you're out and about in New York City, you can go into a bodega and get an egg.
Yeah.
And eat it.
Yeah, I know, but like, as in, I'd rather sit down, have the process of enjoying my breakfast. I know what you're going to say. You don't have time, Jack. You make time for the things that you want to make time for.
Yeah, okay, true. I didn't allow myself that luxury today then, let's say. So I ate the 2 eggs, a leftover salad from yesterday, and a slice of sourdough toast, and a coffee from Cafe Maud.
Okay, lovely.
What about you?
Well, so I started off my morning with a slow morning. Jack, I'm going to be real with the audience. Day 1 of the P.
The P?
Yeah.
Period.
The P. And you said you're on yours too.
I'm on my period.
Yeah, so it's not ideal. 4 females, we gotta slow down on these days.
Can I borrow a pad? Or whatever.
Ew. So we gotta slow down a bit, but I had reason to slow down this morning because Scoot's parents got in from Australia and they're here for 10 days, and we're going to the Boston Marathon because Scoot is doing the Boston Marathon.
Go Scoot.
Scoot. Trying to run under 3 hours. He'll hate that I said that here because he doesn't like the pressure, but pressure is a privilege.
Oh my God, you are such a bitch.
Yeah, I always do this. I'm like, oh God.
Oh my God.
The last time he ran a marathon, I said to him before he was going out the door, he was really nervous, like, oh God, like, you know, like, if you don't run under 3 hours, like, we just won't talk about it again. Like, I was like, it's fine, like, but like, you know, I was like, stop psyching yourself out before. But I always do put subtle pressure on for the laugh because I know it makes them more determined. That's the way sports people work.
Your
it's
children
like,
are gonna be crazy.
Tell someone that they can't do something, and like most sports people are like, oh, I can't what? Like, it's like it almost challenges this part of your brain, and I know he's wired that way. So I generally am like, God, be embarrassing if you didn't run under 3 hours after all that training, you know.
I mean,
he knows I'm joking.
Yeah,
but
sure. I don't think you are.
You're
not joking.
I swear. But his dad, actually, Bryce, he ran a marathon in 2 hours 43. He's ran like something like 8 or 10 marathons in his lifetime, and is just a freak runner.
Yeah.
So Scoot ultimately wants to beat his dad, but I don't know about that yet. I think Bryce is the king of marathons so far. So anyway, I said I'd start my day off slow, have quality time with them, get a coffee, have breakfast, which is lovely. It's nice to do that sometimes and just like not feel like you're rushing out the door all the time, because obviously every other morning of the week I'm gone, I'm training, I'm running, I'm gymming, and I'm coming back. So for me that was a really nice start to the morning, very wholesome.
I remember Fiona, Rowe and I have had that conversation before, because like we get up and it's like, okay, like was especially in Dublin when I was doing a 9 to 5, it was like waking up and then like going to Perpetua and like working out insane straight away, and then work, coffee, like the whole lot, like the camp, you know, your nervous system must be shot.
Oh, definitely.
Like mine was, hers was.
Yeah.
So it's nice to slow down.
Yeah,
sometimes,
definitely.
And just kind of take it easy.
I feel like I've been reading up a bit at the moment about people saying that sometimes when your cortisol levels go up, that like you hold a lot of stress in your body, therefore feel like you're holding weight, but it's generally inflammation and stress.
Yeah.
Stress.
I'm very stressed.
But I feel that way sometimes, like, and it does happen to athletes, is like it can, when you overtrain and say potentially undereat, you can actually hold a lot of inflammation in your body. So I have been trying to prioritize sometimes just taking a bit of downtime, and like when my days are off, I should have them off rather than feeling like I can do that extra little bit more. Like you really do need to recover.
Yeah, that's funny because I was on the subway, so you know it's the train that goes underground. But
yes, the tram.
Yeah, the tram. Yeah, Sarah loves to call. She was like, I got lost on the tram, and then another voice note was, I was lost on, what was it?
The smelly bus underground. The smelly underground bus.
The smelly underground bus, the tube.
Yeah.
I was like, it's very famously known as the subway. But I was on the subway, and there was, and I thought of you and I saw it. There's like these advertisements. It's for philosophy classes, randomly enough, but it like they're cartoon characters, and it like depicts people in New York like rushing and racing everywhere, and like there's this one guy, and he's like, you know, he's like waking up and like reaching over for his phone to turn off his alarm in the morning, and like everyone's at the subway and their like eyes are like sunk into their head, and it like there's one guy who looks okay, and then the tagline is like, slow down to get ahead, which is like a really good lesson. Like, you know, if you're like slightly injured, like the right thing to do is to take the time off and slow down. Like, even though you want to, you know, train or do whatever so badly.
100%.
And I think that it's quite hard to do that here.
Yeah, 100%. That's many lessons I've learned through sport doing that. But it's one of those things that you don't really listen until something happens yourself.
And it's until it's too late.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of the tram, the underground smelly bus that I was on, on my way home from the podcast the last day, luckily I wasn't in a rush, Jack, because I got lost and it took me 2.5 hours to get home. I ended up aborting the smelly bus and getting on the city bike. I don't really know what happened, but I was getting so paranoid that I was going to end up somewhere completely random. So I'm like on the tram, and like there's dogs everywhere, there's like so many people, and I'm like, why don't they speak when you're on the tram and tell you where you're getting off?
Did you have your AirPods in?
Yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't have my AirPods in. But I don't understand.
I've learned that lesson
They
before.
say it very lowly, like as in where they are landing to, and I'm like, I'm following my Google Maps religiously here.
And then your Google Maps isn't connecting.
Yes, exactly.
So like next stop 14th Street.
Yeah. So I just anyway.
Beware the closing doors, please.
I was lucky. I was luckily not in a rush, and I could take my time getting home, and I strutted through New York City.
Sarah's like, I'm so scared, I was lost in Tribeca.
Yeah.
But so something that I've learned you have to be aware of. Yeah, like I need a skinny mark. You need to be aware of is like when you get to a stop, pause your AirPods, because the train could easily say we're gonna go and skip this next stop.
Okay.
So like just every stop I would listen up.
Okay.
But sometimes they just don't.
I'll let you know how I get on, or if I'll continue to just city bike or Uber my way home. I'll let you know.
Let me know. Also, we were talking about like your schedule and stuff like that. Like, what's it like with Scoot's parents being here? Like, you know, are you going to be able to rule the world like you usually do every day?
Of course, Jack, as in there is balance in everything. I think that's the thing. You have to realize when like it's important to spend family time versus being in a rush all the time trying to achieve things. And I think for me now, I'm like, I just have to be more organized about what I do and do more focused work. So I very much like come to do this podcast after it will be efficient about the next episode.
Yeah.
And then trying to kind of like condense my working time but being really efficient while I'm here. So that's probably what I need to do over the next couple of weeks, because obviously I have the nutrition stuff, I have this podcast, and I have like essentially full-time training as well. So it feels like 3 jobs in one, and then quality time with people.
And then Britney Spears impersonator.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
Right. So Jack, something I absolutely love is people watching. Obviously we talk about being in the cafe, and even in that cafe alone there's a lot of people watching that you could do.
There's so much going on. When I was waiting for you, I was at the big window.
Yeah.
And like today I was
people selling bags outside the door.
People selling bags, sunglasses, hats, like
scarves, headbands,
the whole lot.
Yeah.
Like you kind of need to like hold on to your belongings a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're going through there, it's a bit it's a bit scary, sometimes. But I was at the big window and like pure codding myself that like I was doing work. I was like at the window like, where's Sarah? Like, when did she come to the office? Because I got there so early today.
It's like but like when I think about people watching, like I think about it from a few angles. So something I love, there's one thing I absolutely love, I think it's the best people watching spot in the world, is Dublin Airport at Christmas.
Oh,
like the wholesomeness, people coming in after not seeing their families for months, years, whatever it is, and you see them just interacting at the gate. Like that is the nicest thing ever. And the Christmas music on in the background.
I remember when I moved to Boston, I was filmed by RTE when I came back for Christmas, but they didn't use my piece because there was people who, I know, raging. There was people, RTE, your days are numbered. But there was people who were arriving back from Australia who'd like, you know, been gone for like, this was 2023, you know, there's people who moved 5 years ago and weren't able to get back because of COVID and whatever. And then I got back and like, you know, like me and my parents were crying because like I was gone, you know, and then they were like, oh, like, how are you? We're like, we're good. We're from Ballina. You up out of it? And then they were like, how long were you gone for? I was like 6 weeks. And then I think they just like were like hit, like, you know, put down the camera. Like, we're like, oh, like, I mean, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years, 6 long, hard years. And so they didn't use my piece, raging.
But it's like the other thing that's unbelievable to observe is relationships and couples sitting down eating their dinner. Couples that love each other is great to watch because it's like there's so much cute. So cute, or like those small interactions that actually do mean everything. Or those couples who hate each other and you can clearly see that they've beef at the table and you're like, God, I'd hate to be sitting there.
Yeah, I hate when I see a couple together and they're just both on their phones the whole time.
Yeah, and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, come on, put it away.
And like, oh my God, I saw in a restaurant one recently actually, there was a girl dressed to the nines. The guy was kind of like whatever, completely punching. He was on his phone and she wasn't, and she was kind of looking at him.
Oh, she was passive aggressively looking at him.
I felt she was kind of damn bad, like she seemed kind of sad.
Okay.
Yeah, which is funny because maybe that could have been your take if you saw them, but
yeah,
that was my take when I saw them.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many things. Obviously, you make a lot of assumptions in these situations, but at the same time, like, and it's another topic for another day. But
our famous quote.
Our famous last words. Yeah. But like, what phones are doing?
We'll be like 90 years old. Like, we're referring back to that point we made. Remember that? And all our listeners are like dead. We're still alive. For some reason. But what was the point you were going to say? Sorry.
Oh no, that was what I was saying. Like we'd like the point of phones being a disaster and social media, but at the same time, Jack, social media is helping our podcast grow. Like it's helping us market, it's helping so many things, and then there's a space for it, but it's also like extremely draining, extremely full of shit, and like hard to wrap your head around your relationship that you have with it. But again, I think we can go into that. Yeah, no, let's park it, and we have many things to discuss today. We will refer back to it. As we said, we're building the plane as we're flying it, so like, yes, great point. And I actually have a lot to say about that. Yeah. So, but it's not in the not in the script.
Not in the script.
And we talked through the script, and we said we must stay on track.
Yeah, so we got to stay on track. But I love people watching around New York in any place, really.
Weird and wonderful people of New York.
Amazing.
Yes.
Like fabulous people. But where I was recently, so like if I'm doing work in the city, and I told you about this, but you should join the New York Public Library. You'd read every book in there, but they have loads of books with pictures. It's fabulous. Okay. And you can charge your laptop and stuff like that. So I go on and go to the desk and like do work or whatever. And so I was like doing some work for the podcast there, and there was this guy sitting beside me, like I felt like I was in the Dead Poets Society, that movie, and like there was a guy sitting beside me, and he was like really kind of cool looking or whatever, and he had a copybook out and was like doodling with a pen, but it was like just a blue pen, but it was like really good, and he was like drawing people. He didn't draw me for some reason. I obviously wasn't giving muse for whatever reason, but he was drawing other people and giving them the pictures. And then so I was sitting there, and then like, he was like lightly playing a harmonica in a really quiet library. It was gorgeous.
Created an ambience.
It was amazing. Like it kind of like, and so he was like kind of lightly, it's like he just had nowhere to be. Yeah. And he was just in there.
In the hustle and bustle of New York, someone who had felt like they had nowhere to be.
Yeah, amazing. He's just drawing and like blowing into this harmonica, and I was like, what's his story? It was so nice. And then I looked over and there was another man on his laptop, and he was actually crying. And so it's like, we wonder what he's dealing with, or like what's going on with him. And then that made me sad. And then, yeah, there's like Pure Schmells in there as well. Like, kind of wondered what's going on with them too. But yeah, I love doing that.
But to your point, Jack, that reminds me of like the small interactions you have daily with people you don't know. And when you have an interaction with someone and you're like, you know, someone's rude to you, or someone's rude to you in a pharmacy, in a cafe, whatever it is. But sometimes you do have to stop yourself before you make judgment and go, I don't really know what they're dealing with. Because like you said, you're looking at that guy who's crying, and everyone kind of is dealing with something. But sometimes we can, you know, if someone's rude to us, we can get really pissed off about it. But sometimes it's good to just stop and think.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, I feel that I try to be aware of it. I do. But I was in CVS recently, pharmacy. And
okay, they are rude in there.
They're pure rude. There's something about like Irish work ethic or Irish employees that like they're like happy to work.
But it's like they're so, it's almost homely. I think it's like when you go into an Irish place, they're like, I can't get that for you. I don't really know where to get that, but I'll try help you, and let me come back to you. And they'll say it in a really lovely tone. But they're like, why are you asking me that? I don't know where that is. And I'm like, I know. I thought it was your job to know where this is.
No offense, like, Gabe and Isabella. It's like just sometimes American workers in these stores are like not very polite. And so I went up to this beauty.
Trisha Rowe said, sharpen up on your manners. You know?
If
Trisha
she
Rowe
would not
be telling us.
happy.
Yes. And our manners are spick and span, but Jenna Brennan says that I'm a liar.
Yeah, well, maybe she's onto something there. Why did she say you're a liar? She
says that she goes, your table manners aren't that good. And I said, are you for real? I said, my grandmother has taught me better than that. Yeah,
well, maybe I'm siding with Jenna on this one. Mine aren't the best either. I do have my elbows all over the table. Do you know? And I actually, apparently my mum told me I use my fork and my knife in wrong hands.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, Patricia, but when I was in CVS, I went up to the beauty who was behind the counter, and she was talking to someone else, and I just like gave her my stuff, and she goes, you can go to the self-checkout over there. And I was like, no, you can do it. Yeah. You can check me out. Thank you very much. And she was like, beep, beep. Like, I was just like, what's the fucking issue here? I don't want to scan them myself.
Yeah, well, it's again, when you're met with that energy, it's hard not to give back that energy. But like, if you're met with kindness, you'll give back kindness.
But you can also have the crack with people you meet as well. And I think this might be a reoccurring thing, because I honestly talk to so many people on the street. Yeah. But today I got off the subway to go hit up H&M in my new ensemble frock. And I was getting off on 42nd, which is like by the Irish consulate and the MetLife building, like very corporate area. And I was going up the stairs, and coming down towards me.
Corporate, I'm thinking men in suits.
Oh, men in suits. I'm looking for a guy in finance. 6'5", blue eyes. Coming down the stairs towards me, suits. Like, I was like, oh my God. And then like girls in their like, you know, pencil skirts and suits, and they're like all going down the stairs towards me. Yeah. And then I turn around when they're all coming, so many of them. I go, hey, what is this, an episode of Succession? And then they're all weak laughing. So I love doing things like that.
Yeah, well, you love putting on random accents in places, but I love the way you did that on your own, Jack. Because most people do that when their friends are around and they're trying to get a laugh from the audience, whereas you do that when you're on your own. That's your day-to-day kind of stuff.
Totally. Like, yeah. Honestly, I think like my good
live
friends,
in a different world.
I do. I think if I did that in front of my friends, they'd just be like, oh, fuck, shut up. Like, you know, they're over it.
Yeah.
It's honestly more funny when I decide to be myself. They're like, that's new.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that, I mean, I am nothing without my random work experience in the past. I started working when I was 15 years old in the Broken Jug. And I just think random jobs are so funny, like to talk about, like when you're a teenager, like working in random places. Yeah. This is a great place for us to just open the floor and 100%. Ask each other questions. Let people know what we want. Well, no, for me to find out more about you, because I annoy people with these questions.
Yeah, we're very curious like that.
We are.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes. But like Fiona Rowe actually gave out to me one day. I was like, "What do you and Sarah text about?" And she's like, "Why?"
Yeah.
And like I was like, she's like, why? Like why? Like why do you want to know that?
Yeah.
And like she was like it doesn't matter. Like I was like, I want to know.
And we all actually talk all the time. You know those people who are really easy to text, and those people who are really hard to reply to. She is such a good texter. She is.
She's like, buddy.
Yeah, and you can just chat to her, and you don't feel the pressure of it. But yeah, I know what you mean. So go.
So I want to ask you, if you weren't in sport, what would you be working as?
If I wasn't in sports,
if that was just something you never, pursued any further, like, what do you feel?
Well, when you think about yourself, you think of the sum of all the parts of you and why you are the way you are. Mm-hmm. And why I am the way I am now is because of sport. So sport's given me everything, and I feel like it's, makes you the person that you are. Because you've been put in so many different environments where you've been challenged, you've been in teams with so many people where you have no choice but to work together. So I feel like the interests that have come apparent to me through sport are health and wellness, nutrition space, leadership, and the third one would probably be media. So if I could have something that has all those three things incorporated in them, that's the job I would want. But I think about the media space is something you do through sport, and I realize that I enjoy it. And then the nutrition space and the wellness space is really important for performance, so I've enjoyed that. The leadership space, the reason I'm interested in that is because I have found through working with different teams and different personalities extremely challenging at times. And how do you work with people who you don't agree with or who are on a very different page to you, and how do you figure out this is what works for them, this is what works for this other person? And like in terms of the personality profiling spectrum, you can start to understand that because Jack does things a certain way and I do things a different way doesn't mean we can't get the same results. So sport's a prime example of that. It's like, we all get to the finish line and we all do things differently to get there. But for years as a younger athlete, I found that really hard to understand. But the thing that I love the most, the Blue Bottle Cup is open. He's off again.
I just, when you think about coffee, I'm like, I need a sip.
You're parched. So yeah, I just think with the leadership stuff, I really love understanding like the way people work. And yeah. So what about you, Jack?
Let me know about how to work with people that I disagree with, because I have a few.
Okay, go on.
I know, I don't really. I just think it's an interesting topic because you see that so often. Sorry.
We set off again. Here we go again. No, it's so true though. There's like when I did a course in personality profiling, and I worked for a company called Performance by Design. Basically what they do is they're a corporate consultancy in leadership and culture, and they basically relate sport to the corporate world. So they bring in he's set off laughing again. No, here we go. 1, 2, 3, Jack, gather ourselves. Inhale, exhale.
Yeah,
yes.
Sorry.
So basically the personality profiling thing, has really helped me understand that when you go into the corporate world, you can relate sport and business really easily if you understand the personality profiling tool, which is like, for example, a red type personality is like win at all cost. Then you have a yellow type personality who's like, yeah, but like we need to figure out like how, like they're really creative about, let's paint the picture. You're probably a yellow type personality.
Are you red?
I'm red in sport, but I do have a bit of yellow in me. Like I could tell you a story, no worries.
Yeah, you definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you definitely.
Like if I wanted everyone to come on a night out, I could convince you as to why you should.
Absolutely.
And then I could convince you on the opposite side why you shouldn't for your health.
Yes. Yeah. True.
So it's just, basically everyone has different ways of doing things, and it's just like there's no right or wrong. So you have to come from a place of understanding.
And do you feel that like being in different teams throughout your life, that has like helped you understand that a lot more?
Yeah, well, like there would be players on my team who drive me insane mentally, but I'm like, at the end of the day, we need to get to the same goal, and we want to win, and that's the ultimate goal. So how do I bring out the best in you? So I'd come from a curious place and kind of ask a lot of questions like, oh, why do you do it like that? And do you think being late for training is like, does that help you? Is it because you like to be more relaxed and you can't be uptight going into games? Is it? And then the person who's really early for training, it's like, oh, why are you so early for training? Is it because you want to mentally prepare? Like, are you in your own way? Like trying to understand that. And like, someone who'd be like, oh, I don't really buy into nutrition. I'd be like, oh, that's really interesting, because like all the research says like it's really important part of performance. So you can as an Irish, we can put the humorous twist on it, and I think that's where the gains are made. It's like, come from a place of understanding, add in a bit of humor, become connected with the people around you, and then you can bring it all together. But if you are going to fight people on those cases, you're like, sometimes people aren't ready to be fought and you can't meet them at that stage. You have to wait till they're ready to be met with the confrontation that you want to give them. So I feel it's about timing.
That's also just in real life as well, like outside of sport
and family.
Yeah, I actually thought of like a couple of people when you were saying that, like that they have to be ready to hear you. So what if they never get to a point where they're ready to hear you though?
That's not your problem, because it's their life. So I always say,
so should you not confront them?
Well, unless it's really impacting your life, I would say it's like, sometimes the less said the better. Like there are people who I'm like, you drive me insane. I wouldn't allow a massive amount of access for them in my life. So I wouldn't allow them to affect me like that. I'm in control of who I let into my life and who I don't. And if it's completely draining my energy and it's not good for me, it's not bringing out the best of me, I'm like, sorry, thank you very much, but I have a great family and friends and a great circle that I will focus on. Yeah,
I feel like I need to kind of keep that in mind a bit more, because I do let people really, really irritate me. And like really like...
Why?
I don't fully know why.
Yeah. We're gonna nut it out here, Jack.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, it's like people that I'd be around a lot. Like, maybe like work colleagues or housemates or whatever. I have found that I struggle, not struggle, but like if you're on my nerves, like you're really, really on my nerves.
I remember when I was younger, this person in particular really annoyed me, and I said to my auntie Annie, I said, that really annoys me. And she said to me, why do you think that annoys you? And I said, I think it annoys me. I was like, because I just don't like that about that person. And she goes, do you think you might be quite similar to that person? And I was a rude awakening, and I started to go, sometimes the things you don't like in others potentially is the stuff that you don't like in yourself. And that opened my eyes at the time.
Yeah, and I have experienced that in
so
the past.
That's food for thought.
Yeah, no, I have experienced that in the past for sure. I don't know, I think I give people too much access or something sometimes.
But it's because you are so open. And I have over time, it's not really a good thing, but I have over time probably margined in on my circles a bit more, and probably was giving too much to everyone. And I remember mum and dad kind of saying, like, you're burning the candle at both ends, like you're trying to keep everyone happy and the only person who's suffering is yourself. And they were like, I think you need to reassess. And like, that's the great thing about family, like they're your greatest mirror and they can see those things happening to you before you can. So like, I feel like if you do have that problem and you do feel that, it's just worth looking at. Like I used to get like sit in a cafe with a pen and paper and write down like why things frustrated me, who, and like how I was going to change it, because what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Very good. Yeah, maybe I need to go back to Blue Bottle and write down a couple of things that are irritating me at the moment.
Well, you said that you had like a particular incident in work, a previous work situation where someone really annoyed you. What was that about?
It was basically just a person who I worked with in the past, and they were horrible. Like, absolutely horrible to me. I was quite young at the time.
Yeah.
And like their behaviour was disgusting towards me. And I hated this person, and like just they made me hate going into work.
Yeah, that's a shit feeling.
It's so shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I was young, meaning a teenager. I don't think any teenager needs to start talking about personality profiling and thinking too in depth.
You don't understand it.
You don't understand it, and you're also just like, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
That was my understanding of it. And yeah, I was in the bathroom on my BlackBerry. Like, what? Do you know, it's
your
like,
BlackBerry.
I'm 15.
Yeah, your Motorola.
Like, yeah, I'm on BBM. Leave me alone. Like, so it's like, I don't think that you need to, as a teenager, you shouldn't have to think too in depth about things like that. But
100%.
now that I'm older, I look back and
dare
think,
you say wiser?
And wiser merely. I look back and think, okay, they maybe were going through a lot. Maybe they weren't happy with where they were in their life at that moment. So I have a better underspitter. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was on the subconscious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have a better understanding of it now. That being said, if I saw this person, I'd have a stroke. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, heebie-jeebies, get away from me.
I think that's the other part of this is like, you can speak as stoically as you want about all this stuff and like ways to navigate through it. But there are going to be some people in life that just piss you off and that just you might never like, and like that's okay too. Yeah, and like there's people who Jack will be listening to this podcast just like, I don't like those two, and we'd be like, that's okay, but like love us.
Yeah, but sorry.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so your answer to what would you work as, like, do you is it like a psychologist, sports psychologist, something like that?
So it's probably like speaking in the media around leadership and culture and health and wellness.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
So that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
But I would love to is also work in teams like I did with Performance by Design, where you're actually navigating through these exact problems that we're saying here, as to like why companies, teams, all of that cannot get to the root of their problem. It's because none of them will, cooperate with each other.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I enjoy navigating through that because it's complex.
Okay, that's interesting. If I wasn't going down the route that I'm in now, not that I have solidified myself in any which way yet, but I always wanted to be a hotel manager.
Why?
Which sounds so stupid coming off the back of everything you said.
You've such personality to, I suppose you could give your...
Oh my God, you totally have to give your personality as a hotel manager. Remember the apartment in Ballsbridge?
Yeah.
And Serpentine Avenue? Across the street was the Four Seasons Hotel, which is now the Intercontinental Hotel. And I have a thing about hotels that, like, Suzanne has worked in hotels for a long time, in hospitality, business. And I just was like, found it interesting. Like, I would, and I still do this, like, would go to hotels and just walk around, because you can enter and then be in these like fabulous, receptions. Now, that is not actually as common in New York, because the space is tighter, I feel like. So I don't know, like there's not as vast of venues to walk around as there is in Ireland, we'll say, because the hotels are just bigger, but like lower, we'll say. So like you can access more things. So I would walk around and go into, like, just open the door, like into the function room, like walk around, like just like pretending to be a manager.
Yeah.
And like I used to do that in the Four Seasons Hotel all the time. I'd walk around and I wanted to be the manager of the Four Seasons Hotel. My dad
that
also...
would be a lovely place to work.
It would. My dad also with High Five Clothing does hotel gear all the time.
Oh, Connor Rowe is famous in the Mespel Hotel.
Oh my God.
I got a discount there.
Yes, he is famous in the Mespel Hotel.
They're like, you know Connor? And I was like, yeah, I know Connor.
My dad does the uniforms for a hotel in Dublin called the Mespel Hotel, and honestly, like, they're throwing rose petals at him when he's walking in the door. Like, he's a celebrity there. But so he travels to a lot of different hotels, and like I would do some runs for him, and I'll go with him to places and just like be in hotels and stuff. And when I was trying to make a decision about what direction I wanted to go in, I did look into going to hotel school. So when I was doing my leaving cert, even before this, looked into going to my Lily dance. Yeah, that's what I call the leaving cert. Before that, looked into going to Shannon to do hotel management. But that's the only really the best place to do it in Ireland. But I wanted to go, as Patricia said, I wanted to do Dublin studies.
Yeah,
more than anything.
That's what you wanted to do. Okay,
so I did Dublin studies. And then
which means living in Coppers.
Yeah, well, Coppers, Flannery's was kind of my joint. I was always turning up in there. But yeah, with the hotel management thing, I had to make a decision about do I want to go hotel management or towards like film, television, media, that kind of space. And I've worked in and out of hospitality and bar jobs for so long that now I always thought would I regret it, but now I know I've made the right decision because I see how strenuous working in hospitality and running a business like that is, and I'm just like, I just don't think I could do that. Like it is literally all encompassing. And I think I need a job where I can switch off. And just go home. Like, and I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, working the weekends is not it.
Oh, it's the pits. But yeah, I feel that now. And also, I would not be able to maintain my composure for the rest of my life. Like, meaning I would just be like, just go and shut up and just stop fucking talking to me. For God's sake, you know? Like, I remember serving a table before and there was these customers and like, I was like, oh yeah, there you go. And like, I was like, you're welcome. Like, you know, and I kept saying it. Like, I wanted to be like to him, oh yeah, there you go. And guys, by the way, thank you so much for being so polite and kind. And you guys don't smell weird at all.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, why are you so rude?
Yeah.
I would just get to a point where I'm like, I've had it.
Yeah. Fair.
I have had it up to here.
So you're done. That's it. You don't want to be a hotel manager anymore.
No. So yeah. So when I was younger, I worked in a restaurant in Ballina. I worked with
The Broken Jug. I
worked with the Queen, Jessica Butler. Who texted us both this morning. Thank you, Jessica, for my Queen. Love working with Jessica. We used to have such a laugh.
Yeah, she
like
is
a
hilarious.
Laugh, right? And
that girl can laugh.
Oh my God. And she's
Distinct
just so fun.
Laugh.
Yeah, she's just so fun as well.
Yeah.
And so we were working and there was a man and a woman came in. Do you know this one?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say next.
A man and a woman came in and they ordered food from me. They ordered a carbonara and a bangers and mash. And bangers and mash, which is like sausages and mashed potato. And so then the food, Jessica was bringing out the food. And then she goes, Buse, I assume the bangers and mash is for the man, yeah? And I go, no, it's for the woman. She goes, oh, dirty bitch.
That is like so Jessica Butler as well. It's like, dirty bitch. What foods women can't order? Bangers and mash. Jessica's Butler says.
Like, no, it's for the woman. Dirty bitch. Like, I know, and like, she's not even going to care I said it on here because I'd say she can't even walk around Ballina without someone saying dirty bitch.
No, she's so funny.
She's so funny. It's such a good one. Okay, so guys, it is time for the reoccurring segment, the Young Ho Rowe behaviour tongue twister moment. And today we're sending it over to Miss Sarah Rowe, the queen of Young Ho Rowe behaviour, because she has a good one coming up.
Jack, I don't even know where to start with this story, but I'm going to start because it must not take that long.
Please do.
But firstly, I need to just ask, were you at the party?
No. I was much younger.
Okay, you were a young ho Rowe.
Yeah, no, I was a young little small ho.
Okay, right.
Bro.
So, anyway, basically, Mum and Dad went away on a holiday to Spain. And I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but I briefly told my dad what I was about to do.
Oh, did you?
I did. Oh. Yeah, sorry, G-Bomb. G-Bomb's going to go skits on the other side.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I said, like, I'm thinking of having a little gathering in the house. Now, bear in mind, I was left with my grandmother and grandfather at the time, John and Patricia, King and Queen Rowe.
That was their first mistake.
First mistake. And I always knew that if I was with Trisha and John Rowe that I would get away with murder. And I knew that I had John wrapped around my finger and Trisha was too busy having a Prosecco.
Yeah.
And getting her health done. And yeah, so I was like, this is going to be fine. Anyway, so I said to Trisha, I'm having a little gathering in my house. I would, please don't tell mum and dad, but it's not going to be anything major. And Trisha said, do you want me to get you some wine, champagne, like bit of gin, what would you like, kind of thing? And I was like, oh, hello. And I was like, oh, she's the biggest legend ever. And I kind of briefly said to John, and John, whatever, for you, my love, kind of thing. And anyway, I got all my school friends. We organised the party. And when I say we organised it, I mean, I know that my mother had left traps out for me. She had left random things in random places that weren't supposed to be there. And she's particular about the house. So anyway, I went into the house. I took pictures of every single room so that I put it back exactly as was. And then I started the cleanup. So I started to cling film the couches. I invited people down from Dublin, from Cork. I invited my soccer friends, my Irish soccer friends.
How old were you at the time?
I was...
About 15 or 16?
17.
17. Okay, so I would have been about 14.
Yeah.
So.
And it was like... I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to make sure this party is planned well. Myself and Jenna Brennan, we went and got new cleaning equipment in Wispies. And Jenna was like, right, because otherwise they'll smell some alcohol off the cleaning equipment. So let's not get caught there. So anyway, cleaned up the house, had everything perfect, moved cling film couches, moved stuff around. Anyway, decided, right, having the party. And I decided to tell my neighbours either side because I was just like, just in case you hear noise, if anything, just come straight to me. So anyway, they decided that they were like, no worries at all. If there's any noise, we'll contact you. But the person I didn't take into consideration is Mary Farrell, Millie and Eddie Farrell. Millie's parents, my best friend's parents, who live at the bottom of the road. But again, I didn't believe that this house party was going to be big. But in my head, it was Project X was out at the time. I was like, I want to recreate that. Like I had DJ decks, like I had everything planned. God. There was pineapple straws, like you name it, it was there.
Yeah.
So invited everyone, half the town. The invitation was as follows: come and bring whoever you want.
Oh,
like that was it.
Sarah.
So the house was getting packed up, and all down the long driveway there was cars the whole way down the driveway. So Mary Farrell rings and says, is Sarah having a house party? Is Sarah what? She's about to blow up this place. This joint.
It's about to go down.
It's going down. So anyway, then Anne-Marie, my auntie who lives in Enniscrone, which is 10 minutes from Ballina, rings me and says, hey Sarah, just wondering, are you having a party? Because Mary Farrell is after ringing me. And obviously Anne-Marie was next in line to mind me.
Yeah.
And I said no, Annie, like I'm meanwhile music blaring in the background. No, I'm actually uptown. I'm just getting a pizza from Pizza Mia. And she was like, okay, no worries, believes me. And then the music gets louder, the crowds get bigger, and Mary Farrell rings Annie again and says there's something going on in the Rose house.
Yeah.
And Annie decides to ring me again. She goes, are you lying to me? I was like, no, I would never. Like I was devil child.
Yeah.
And she was like, 10 minutes later she arrives in the driveway and I'm in the house party and I'm like, and she pulls me outside the door and she was like looking at me disgust, like, I cannot believe you've lied to me like this. And I was like, I was a bit more like, I'm actually sickened that you've ended this party. Like, this was about to be the best party ever. So anyway, she brings me back to Trisha and John's house. She clears the whole house. Everyone get out. So everyone went to the park down the road and I went back to Trisha and John's house and I told Trisha and John, I put on the waterworks and I said, Anne-Marie's after crashing the party. And Anne-Marie and I had an unbelievably good relationship. And I was like, this is going to affect our relationship. So I was so sad about that. But I was also so sad about the fact that the party was cancelled. So I said to Trisha Rowe and John, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you please, like, how are we going to do this? And Trisha and John go, don't worry about it. We'll cover for you. So I said, perfect. Let's not tell mum and dad. How are we going to manage this? So anyway, I get back into my bed, happy as Larry.
Which room were you in?
I was in, the one,
the pink one.
Yeah, the pink one.
Oh God, that room is so
pink room. And I got into the bed and
the clown teddy.
Yeah, and my mind starts ticking and everyone's texting me. And I said, I'm going again. I'm going to go back to the house. So I leave the back door open in Trish and John's house and I sneak out the back door. How dare I do that to my poor grandparents who loved me so much and were willing to do anything to cover for me. Anyway, devil child. So I went down to my house and I went back to the park and I said, everyone, back to my house. And everyone's like, what? Da, 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 da. And I was like, yes, perfect. So get into the house, turn on. The first song that came on, I remember, was Smack That. Right?
Yes.
And
on
next,
the floor, smack that.
Yeah, and I was like living my best life. I was like, no one's going to catch me at this time. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning at this time. Anyway, next thing I see the lights shining in the window of the house. And I was like, they're police cars, they're cop cars. So I get a phone call again from my auntie to say, Sarah, are you in the house? And I was like, hello? I was like, no, I'm in bed, I'm in Trish and John's. They said, well, someone's after breaking into the house again. There's music playing and the house party is alive, it's back, and it's bad and it's booming. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to get caught. So I go, everyone get upstairs and lie flat on the ground and lock the doors and pretend that no one is here. So I did that.
It's like
yeah. And at the time, remember when everyone used to like plank on things? I was like, I was like, everyone plank. Yeah. So everyone was like planked on beds. Brina Malloy was hiding in the wardrobe. She said there was someone just like at her shoulder, didn't have a clue who it was. It was just like, anyway, so funny. So then I decided, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get away with this, but the calculated nature of me was like, I'm going to go upstairs in the attic, those attics that you pull down. I'm going to go upstairs in that attic and I'm going to close the attic up on myself. So if someone does get into the house, there's going to be loads of people here, but I'll be nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
So I was like, get everyone done for trespassing. Yeah. And I'm easy.
You run away into the sunset.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm up there and I can hear Anne-Marie in the house. I can hear Mary Farrell and Eddie Farrell. And I'm thinking, oh no. And you can hear the police.
Meanwhile, Patricia's like...
Yeah, Patricia's asleep. And I can hear them interviewing, like the police interviewing Brina and going like, what's your name? She's like, Beans Malloy. Then you can hear other people giving fake names and stuff, and I'm just laughing upstairs being like, oh, this girl's not getting caught up here. Yeah. And I'm lying with a mattress up over me, and obviously the mattress is elevated. Yeah. Next thing, 20 minutes later, I can hear Anne-Marie, I know Sarah's in the house, the washing machine is on, I know she's in here, she's somewhere. And I was like, oh no, they're digging. Next thing I hear the attic creaking down. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do here? So next thing, do, up the steps. Slowly, do again. And then you see Eddie Farrell peering over at the mattress that's elevated on the ground. He goes to me. He just looked at me. He pulled the mattress off me. He shook his head. And Eddie's a man of few words, but he has a presence. And he looked at me and he goes, Sarah. And I go, Eddie, don't tell anyone I'm up here. And he just goes, for fuck's sake. And I was just like, oh. And he just, get downstairs now. I got downstairs and the police were like, you've wasted our time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like sitting there being like, oh my God, am I living in a dream? And what am I going to do? This is going to be carnage.
Sounds more like a nightmare.
A nightmare. So I wake up the next morning in Anne-Marie's house. Trish and John still didn't know that I'd left the house.
They're like, she's upstairs asleep. Meanwhile, you've been arrested.
Yeah, literally. And they, Annie was just like, Annie and I was like, a bit of repairing to do. I was like, Annie, I'm so sorry. Please, can we not tell Mum and Dad? Anyway, obviously rang. There was carnage going on ever. Fiona was ringing from New York. Lorna was ringing from Singapore. Like, everyone was like, Sarah is dead. Like, I'm going to kill her. I'm pretty sure
there was like a summit meeting in Avalon.
It was bad. Like, Mum made me go up and apologise to the police. She was like, how dare you waste your time? Like, all my teachers at school knew. I like walked around with public humiliation for weeks, and I had to put my tail between my legs and go around. Mum made me apologise to everyone that I affected, and she was like, you will learn your lesson. And I was grounded for the whole summer.
And you couldn't go to, what concert was it?
The
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, I remember
and I
that.
begged Mum. I was like, I beg you, let me go to that. And she's like, Lovey.
You
like,
were raging.
I wrote her a letter to say how much I loved her and how much I was sorry. And she was like, you have an unbelievable way of trying to twist my arm, but not this time. You have a lot of lessons to learn. And I'm not joking, Jack, when I say this. I know it is an iconic story. I'm so happy it happened. But that summer did put manners on me and changed me. And I needed it at the time because I was losing the run of myself.
First, I want to ask, what were you wearing?
Oh, probably like a mini skirt.
Just like a little skirt.
Something like that. I can't actually remember.
We need to uncover photos from that party. I'm sure they're
on
there's
Facebook. Definitely. There's
like
actually, I was wearing,
Facebook
actually
album.
now I know, I was wearing shorts and a white top.
Iconic.
Yeah.
And wait, you remember you kind of like curly
hair and like a lot of backcombing like, going on. Yeah, sunglasses, side fringe.
Side fringe. Oh my God, you were iconic. Like you really were. Oh my God, you were just the coolest shit ever. I think I remember getting wind of it and was like, fucking bitch didn't invite me.
Oh my God.
But I was like below the threshold of like getting invited. I don't know if I was even drinking yet.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing about it and like everybody was talking about it. Everybody was talking about it. But what's amazing about our grandparents like is they totally never turned against you on it. Like they were just like, that's kind of hilarious.
They didn't care. Like they were just like, as long as you had a good time. I was like, that's the attitude to have. Well, meanwhile G-Bomb was not happy. And meanwhile Dad was like pretending to be unhappy about it because he was keeping his wife happy, as they do, you know. The man goes on along with the woman just to make it easier. Meanwhile Dad found it iconic and hilarious.
I'd say everyone kind of did though.
Yeah, like beneath it all we're like, it's the best story ever.
It's funny when you're a teenager and your auntie gives out to you like that, you're like, we're never gonna be friends again.
I know, literally. But Jack, I think that's how we wrap it up. But we definitely have we have an awful lot more of them to come, unfortunately, for us young ho Rowe behaviour, and they come from all directions. We still haven't came to the airport chat, which we'll have to get to soon.
We'll get to that. As I said, we'll be 90 years old talking about the airport. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today, and we're going to do our little sign off.
Yeah, and I'm Sarah, and this is Jack.
And this is Rolling with the Rose. Oh shit!
Yeah, we do that as well.
Yeah, thank you, Isabella. Fuck's sake. I am just fucking... So this is our sign off.
Yeah, this is our sign off. Oh, that's true, actually.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'll chop that last bit. Okay. And as we like to do for every episode, Suzanne Rowe's little party trick. Up it goes, Sarah. We hope you liked our show. Right.